that the same joy and light dance in me. Life can feel like that fountain, fun, but sometimes catching me by surprise. If I resist, I grow weary. But when I move with its rhythm, dodging, laughing, and dancing, it's called fun, I feel the pulse of divine life. Even in challenging circumstances, I can regard that the spray as refreshment, the soaking as grace. Get soaked with grace, that's a privilege. Each of these baptisms becomes an invitation to cleansing, renewal, and awakening, a chance to grow in spirit. As I join life's dance, I am lifted. Creativity awakens, joy abounds, and I feel truly, fully alive. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light, we see light. Psalm 36. With joy, I dance in the fountain of life. We be dancing. So this is what Linda gave us at our prayer team meeting, and it's a prayer typed in the form of a chalice, and it's called the chalice. Dear God, to you I raise my whole being, a vessel emptied of self. Accept, God, this my emptiness, and so fill me with yourself, your light, your love, your life, that these your precious gifts may radiate through me and overflow the chalice of my heart into the hearts of all with whom I come in contact this day and every day, revealing unto them the beauty of your joy and wholeness and love and the serenity of your peace, which nothing can destroy. Yeah, you're welcome. I love that prayer. If I'm having trouble getting into my heart, this takes me right in.
Thank you. Okay, now I have to go back to where I'm supposed to be, right? Okay. I don't know how I could do it without you, Betsy. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about the Division Street Bridge closure. Technically, it was supposed to close on the 1st, but it hasn't, and they haven't decided exactly when it's going to close. Pardon me? Yeah. So pay attention. Let's hope it's not closed next week for Mother's Day, because I think that might impact people's attendance. When it is closed, it'll be closed to all eastbound traffic. Getting here won't be difficult. Getting home could be. May 5th through at 11 to 12:30, Denise's class, Each One Lead One, Embodying Your Purpose, begins online. I took the class, and it's an absolutely wonderful class. I really enjoyed it. And it does take you right to discovering your purpose. May 6th at 5:30 to 7 is the drumming circle. Next week is Dr. Reverend Andrea Acevedos. Is that right? Did I lose my mic? No. Oh, okay. Anyways, she'll be here as our speaker next week. On May 12th, the online series will be attending. That series is 3 classes. On the 12th, from 5:30 to 7 is our board meeting. And May 16th from 11 to 12:30 is the men's group. Okay. It's time for our meditation song, but then are you going to do the meditation? Thank you, Cindy. Okay.
I stare at stars most evenings, searching for some meaning wide-eyed and wondering the reason for my being. And I've dreary days I must confide when taking not one step outside in the darkness. Sometimes I want to hide, keep myself locked up inside. Sometimes I wait the feeling out, taking baby steps instead. Grateful I'm reminded from my heart, not my head, to let love lead. Let love lead. I've heard it from beloveds, friends and sages across so many lifetimes, throughout the ages, lifting up my soul, my energy and my spirit with simple words. And so I think it's time for me to hear it. Let love lead. Let love lead. Oh, it's more than just a simple thing. I'm happy when we get to sing. Let love lead. Let's do that a bunch of times. Let love lead. 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 Last one. Let love lead.
That's a beautiful song to go into meditation. So I just invite you to uncross anything that's crossed. Put your feet flat on the floor. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Or just look down with a soft gaze. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. Breathing in love and breathing out peace. And here we go. Let's breathe in love and breathe out peace. And breathe in love and breathe out peace. And one more. Breathe in love and breathe out peace. And as we sit, I want us for just a moment to imagine that from the bottom of your feet, there are growing roots gently swirling down through the floor, down into the soil, swirling down into Mother Earth, down, down, down to the center of Mother Earth. And there, your roots entwine with the heart of Mother Earth, beating strongly, supporting you. And feel the energy of Mother Earth move back up, twirling and swirling up through your roots, up through the soil, through the floor, into your feet. This is a beautiful, rosy glow, loving energy that moves into your body, up through your ankles. See it swirling through your calves, around your knees, up into your thighs, through your pelvis, bathing your torso and all your inner organs in love, in this healing, nurturing, loving energy. And see this swirling energy of Mother Earth, this loving, warm, glowing energy move into your shoulders and down into your arms, around your elbows, into your forearms, down into your fingertips. Sometimes I feel a little buzzy feeling in my fingertips. I have to move them. And that energy moves back up through your arms, into your shoulders and up into your neck, and up into your face. Let it bathe your facial muscles, into your head. You are the beloved of Pachamama, of Mother Earth. And as you sit in this loving, glowing energy, imagine the Native American prayer, love before me, love behind me, love to the left of me, love to the right of me, love above me, love below me, love within me, and love all around me. And in that consciousness of being deeply loved, filled with love, surrounded by love, held by love, let us go into the silence. And so feeling the fullness of this love and recognizing that I am one with love and you are one with love. I call this time good and blessed and overflowing with this awareness of how deeply loved each of us is, just as we are. I say thank you, sweet Spirit, and so it is.
First time that I picked up a guitar, I dreamed I'd maybe someday be a star. I held concerts in my head from the corner of my bed, but I knew that wouldn't take me very far. Now dreams are often shoved into a drawer, locked up out of sight behind some door. Oh, the heart that one denies, if it's given no reply, it might take us down a dark path evermore, like we're stuck upon some rail down a long line of track, never seen round the bend, forever looking back. But if we rise above the rails, share the passion that's inside, our treasures and our truth, maybe just a little time to soar into the sky, open, blue and white, giving of our gifts. There's no effort in the climb when we rise above the rails. Now what about the dream of MLK? He showed the people they just might have a say. Or if Mandela in his cell had been broken by that hell, where would justice find a home today? We'd be stuck upon some rails down a long line of track, never seen round the bend, forever looking back. But if we rise above the rails, share the passion that's inside, our treasures and our truth, maybe just a little time to soar into the sky, open, blue and wide, a giving of our gifts. There's no effort in the climb when we rise above, rise above, rise above, rise above the rail. When we rise above the rails.
That was beautiful. I love it. All right. Well, good morning. As you heard, I'm Cindy Clay. I love coming here. I just have you. I've got so many hugs this morning. I'm like really hugged up, so it's going to be good. So I am a prayer practitioner. You heard that. And I am in my second year of ministerial school, and I am hell-bent for leather to be done in 2 years. So I'm taking every class they offer every quarter so that I can be done. So in another year, I'll be a minister. Yeah. Oh, and just before we get started here, first of all, I have to tell you, you match the vase and the flowers. So if you're next time, just stay up here. So beautiful. And I'm loving spring. Is your yard in bloom? My yard's in bloom. I'm just standing out there going, so it's a good time. So, pardon? It's a happy day. So the talk this morning is called Living on the Inner Edge. And it was really fun to think about, what does it mean to live on the inner edge? And so just to cut to the chase, your inner edge is the edge of your comfort zone. We all have one. But usually our comfort zone is kind of bound by the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. You know, we describe our physical characteristics. So I am 5 foot 2.5 inches tall, just let it be known. We describe our personality traits. We describe the things we've accomplished, our gender identification, all kinds of ways that we describe ourselves. Maybe we talk about the challenges that we've overcome, and that's part of our identity. But is that really how God sees you? Yeah. Because I can ask myself, who am I really? Who am I in the eyes of spirit? So much more than that. Who am I in the eyes of the one presence, the one love, the one source, the one life that's my creator? Is that how my creator knows me? So Ernest Holmes, and you know he was the founder of Science of Mind and the founder of what is now Centers for Spiritual Living. And I think of Unity and Centers for Spiritual Living as sister denominations. You know, we're all trotting in the same territory, talking about the same ideas. And he says, there is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And he also says, each person is not only a center of God consciousness, they are an immortal being, forever expanding, forever spiraling upward, forever growing in spiritual stature. That's who we are. So much bigger than all those little labels we give ourselves. So let's explore our comfort zones for a minute. We all have a comfort zone. I think of it as like right here. Here's my comfort zone. Just outside my comfort zone is discomfort and fear. Just outside discomfort and fear is learning. And just outside learning is spiritual growth. All right? So when we think about our comfort zone, we are called to live at the edge of that comfort zone, right? And when we often hear what's right beyond that edge is discomfort and fear, many of us go, no, thank you. That's special. I don't want to go there. We'd prefer not to be anywhere close to discomfort and fear. You with me? Right? We don't like those feelings. But what happens when you elect to just remain in your comfort zone? It's boring. Yeah. You get stale. You get stuck. You play it safe. You stop growing. Basically, you sacrifice your spiritual magnificence for safety. Yeah. So do you know somebody who seems stuck? I know a few people. They're afraid to venture out of their comfort zone. They don't like what might be on the other side. But the secret to a satisfying life is to step beyond what is familiar and safe and to lean in to that discomfort and fear. to boldly go where no one has gone before. Or maybe a few have gone before, but you're going to join them, right? So that's our call, is to do more than say kind of stuck and safe right here. So psychologists have looked at this for a long time because we choose often to play it safe. And there are some barriers that come up that cause us to do this. I'm just going to talk about 3 of them. There's more than 3. These are 3 that you're probably really familiar with. And the first one is the fear of failure. Like, we don't want to try it because we might not succeed, right? So I'm not even going to try it. I know if I do this, it's not going to work, so I'll just stay right here. You see that sometimes when somebody's like thinking about they want a new job, but all they can see is that I'm going to go through interviews and I'm not going to get a job offer, and so why should I even try? I'm not even going to update my resume. They just stop themselves cold before they even get going. The second barrier is the fear, well, it's not the fear, it's perfectionism. Hello, this is mine. Perfectionism. I don't even want to start if I can't do it perfectly right out the gate. And that's actually true of a lot of adults. Adults really don't like the process of learning it, and not doing it well over and over again until they finally get better. And so that perfectionism, that thinking that I've got to do it perfectly as soon as I try it, keeps us from even getting started. And the third one is so interesting. It's imposter syndrome. It's if I do it and I succeed, you'll discover that I really am incompetent, really not capable of this. Maybe I'm not worthy of this, okay? Or the other side of this, I'm adding a 4th barrier, is that I'm afraid that if I shine too much, you won't like me anymore. So I won't have any friends, right? So these things keep us playing it safe, playing it small. You can hear that our fears and our doubts and our discomforts keep us living a restricted life, one that's lacking in spiritual growth and expansion. We don't want to be judged. We don't want to judge ourselves. So we just play it small. Charles Fillmore says this: fear is the first of the mind's negative states to be overcome. It is a destructive mental force. And I love this pairing. That's fear. Faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance. So fear, the destructive force we need to overcome, and faith, the power of our minds to shape substance. Pretty cool. Like, we get to choose between those. So as I was getting ready for this talk, I ran across this Bible verse. I grew up hearing this Bible verse. Maybe you will recognize it as well. It's in Mark and Matthew, and here it is. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Now, that word repent is doing a lot of work in that sentence, and it implies you got to give up your bad habits, your sinful ways, everything that's not good about you. You've got to give that up because the kingdom of heaven is coming. That train is coming to the station, and if you're not ready, it's going to go off without you, right? That's sort of what that whole verse always said to me, was like, better get it together, girl, because the kingdom of heaven is going to be here, and you're not going to be ready, okay? Now, that's interesting, because that's not at all what that verse says. And if you go back to the Greek, the word repent is not a very good translation of the original word. Do you know what the original word is? I love this word. Metanoia. Metanoia is the Greek word. Meta means beyond or after, and noia means thinking. What it's saying is change your thinking. And the kingdom of heaven is at hand means it's right here. It's not going anywhere. Change your thinking, change your life. Okay? I love that. So in order to align ourselves with Spirit, we have to transform our consciousness. We have to recognize that we are the beloved of love. We are whole, perfect, and complete right now just as we are. We are centers of divine consciousness, forever expanding and growing. Change your thinking, change your life. And I'm sure that you've experienced that, right? That conscious shift. So when we're living on the inner edge, we're at the inner edge of our comfort zone. We're just on the cusp of discomfort and fear. And often, when we're feeling those feelings, we can recognize we're at a choice point. Woohoo! We get to choose. The inner edge is our learning edge. So we can choose to shrink back into our comfort zone, or we can choose to step forward and do something bold. Now, as I thought about this, I want to say one thing really quick. Sometimes when we feel discomfort or fear, it's a sign that we need to run, right? So it's like a situation I need to remove myself from. I'm not talking about that kind of fear, right? I'm talking about just those little uncomfortable, because in my mind, it means one of two things. One, I've either moved out of alignment with my values. That's when I can feel really uncomfortable. Or two, I'm just about to learn something new. Okay? So I want to talk about both of those. And I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story in order to talk about moving out of alignment with your values. So, my daughter, she's 26, and she got her degree in construction management from Washington State University, if there's any Cougs here. And she works now as a project manager for a construction company, and she has a company truck. It's got the logo of the construction company on the side that she drives to work. And she often parks it in the driveway. And my husband and I both have cars that we park in the garage usually. And, when she parks in the driveway, she's right behind me. And so she did this parking in the driveway thing when I was in a hurry and I was trying to get to a board meeting at CSL Bellingham. And it was like 6 o'clock at night, and it was the time of year when the sun was down, so it was dark outside. And I went running and I said, Grace, you got to move your truck. So she came out, backed her truck up. Now I'm trying to back up this driveway, trying not to hit my husband's car because it was kind of on the side, and I'm backing up. You know how your car beeps when you're backing up, so it's beeping, and it's beeping because I'm next to my husband's car, and I'm thinking I've got this, right? And all of a sudden I hear crunch, and I realize I have backed into Grace's truck. Now, I wasn't going very fast, but it was an awful crunching sound. And so we're standing in the dark looking at this car. Can't really see what, we're thinking, it's okay, it's probably fine. I said, we'll look at it tomorrow. And I went off to my board meeting. The next day, she goes off to work. I go out and look at my car. My car's fine. There's nothing on my bumper. I'm like, yes. And so at dinner that night, I was like, good news, Grace. My car is fine. There's no damage to it. And she went, bad news, Mom, there's a dent in my truck. And I heard myself say, well, just don't tell anybody about it. I know, really. One of my core values is integrity. I said, is it a big dent? She said, no, it's pretty small. And I went, just don't tell anybody. If they notice, you can just say you don't know how it got there. And then I finished dinner and went and finished my ministerial school homework for that night. And I went to bed, and my higher self, who fortunately was on the job, woke me up about 2 o'clock in the morning and said, are you really going to ask your daughter to lie about her truck? And I'm lying there at 2 in the morning, and I'm like, no, I am not going to do that. But it was interesting because I was like, why would I even for a few hours entertain the idea that it would be okay to be out of integrity? That it would be okay to ask my daughter to pretend I didn't do that? And as I was lying there, I realized, because I'm afraid it's going to cost a lot of money to fix her truck. And I don't want to have to spend that money. And I am laboring right now under the false belief that I am not sourced by an abundant universe. I think that I'm doing this all on my own and that God is not my source. And it was so interesting to just go through that thought process and go, I know what to do about that. I'm going into prayer. So at 2 in the morning, I just prayed to recognize I am one with all good. There is nothing that can separate me from my source. I am whole and complete. All is well. And I went to sleep. I slept soundly. The next morning, she gets up really early, so she was already at work when I got up. And I called her and said, Grace, go tell your boss that your mama backed into your truck. And she was so relieved. She was like, oh, thank you. And so she ran down the hall, ran into her boss's office, and she was really sheepish and told him, my mama backed into my truck. Do you know what he did? He burst out laughing. He thought this was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. He goes, well, show me. So she takes him out and points to this little dent, and he goes, that? He goes, oh my gosh, Grace, take that over to the shop. The boys will just pop that out, buff it. No one will even know what it was there. And she said, I'll pay for it. And he said, it won't cost anything. So she called me and told me this. Now, I felt euphoric because it didn't cost anything, but I have to say, I want you to hear that instead of judging myself, I moved into learning, right? I was at the edge of my comfort zone. I was feeling the discomfort of being out of alignment with integrity. And then I got curious. Why? Why would I be out of alignment right now? What is that telling me? And then I treated myself with a lot of compassion. Okay? So when we feel that discomfort of being out of alignment, that's our signal that we might need to think again about what we're doing. And when I treated myself with curiosity and self-compassion, that allowed me to stay on my learning path. Okay, this is our call, is to not beat ourselves up when we make dumb mistakes like that. First of all, I'm not going to beat myself up about backing into Grace's truck, and I'm not going to beat myself up about for a few hours thinking that it would be okay to let that be treated that way, right? Ernest Holmes puts it this way: we are on the pathway of an endless expansion. We are unfolding into the infinite. Now, I love that endless expansion because it means we're going to be learning and growing forever. There's no arrival point as we just continue to get more and more magnificent spiritually. So even when it looks like we're backsliding, even when it looks like we've fallen off the path, if we love ourselves and we're curious and we view ourselves compassionately and we choose again, we're right back on that path of endless expansion, spiraling upward. Yeah. So the other time we feel that sense of discomfort or fear is when we're about to do something we've never done before. Have you ever done that? Yes. I didn't ask you about the other one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you another story, a different story. So this was back in my probably late 30s, early 40s. And I was a consultant, and I had lots of friends who were consultants as well. And one of my friends called me and said, hey, I've put together a high ropes course that I want to start offering to corporate companies, corporations that want to do team building, but I need to pilot the course. Would you come be in my pilot group? And I thought, sure, I can do that. Help my friend? Great. Somewhere in there I missed high ropes course. And so I drive to Monroe where this course is, and I get out of the car and I look up and I went, oh my God, because I'm scared of heights. And there, up in the trees, are all these suspended logs and big rope, like spider web thingies, and it's all up in the air, 25 feet up, and I'm like, oh my God. And so I took a deep breath and went, I can do this, I can do this. So I spent the day in this high ropes course terrified most of the day. Now they put a harness on you, they're belay ropes, you're in no danger of falling. But try telling that to your adrenal glands, because, man, I was like shaking most of the day. And I did the climb the rope while you're up in the air, climbed all the way across this spider web rope thing by myself and did not fall. And then they had like logs suspended with no railings. So you're like a foot-long log, and it's long, and you've got to walk across it. I did that, and I did this one. I got very close to this one tree. They have this big tree, and it has a platform around it, and you're up really high, and you have to let go of the tree, turn around, and you have to step down like a foot down to a log that's suspended that you're going to walk across. It's the stepping down part with nothing to hang on to. I was so scared. I was just shaking. It took me longer than anybody to let go of this tree. I practically named that tree, made it part of my family. And I finally let go and stepped down and got my balance and walked across this log. So I'm feeling like I've nailed high ropes courses now, right? And so at the end of the day, they're like, we've got one more challenge for you. And they took us to a clearing where there was a telephone pole, 25 feet high. And they say, you're going to climb to the top of this telephone pole, pull yourself up, stand on it, and we're going to swing this aerial swing to you, and you're going to leap off and grab it and swing out, and then we'll lower you to the ground. I'm like, sure you are. Sure I am. Oh my God. So, one by one, each of my colleagues that were taking this class climbed to the top of this telephone pole, and then it was my turn. And I'm like, I think I might be older than everyone here, And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. So I climb to the top of this telephone. Do you know how hard it is to climb up a telephone pole? I have my appreciation for line workers is shot up here as I was climbing up this pole. Then when you get to the top of it, having to pull yourself up to stand on it. And that's when I discovered when you're standing on top of a telephone pole, it sways. So you're going like this. Oh my God. And then I see the aerial bar coming for me, and I'm like, ah! And I leap off, and I miss. I miss the aerial bar, and so they, you don't fall because you've got belay lines on. So they catch me, and they gently lower me to the ground. And the instructor goes, do you want to try again? Now, I was the only one that hadn't done it, so I went, sure, I will try again. Do you know how hard it is to climb to the top of a telephone pole 2 times in a row? I was so exhausted, and I went, pulled myself back up, got back on top, swaying. I see the aerial bar coming toward me, and this time I'm like, I'm going to jump at the right time. And I leap out, and I touch it, and then I slide off. And they lower me to the ground. And he says, do you want to try again? And I go, I don't think this is going to get any better. I think I was too short. I actually think that I needed to be a little bit taller to be able to catch it, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, so I go, I think I've learned the lesson of the telephone pole, so I'm going to stop. So we're sitting around processing this around a campfire at the end of the day, and we're talking about the whole experience, and this woman turns to me and she goes, how did it feel to fail to catch the aerial bar? And inside I'm like, how did it feel to fail to catch the aerial bar? And I went, listen, honey, when I woke up in the morning, I never in a million years imagined that I would climb to the top of a 25-foot telephone pole and leap through space to catch an aerial bar. And I did it 2 times. There is no failure. There is only learning and growth. And that is such a powerful thing to realize. Ernest Holmes says, to live in conscious communion with life, even for a short time, will convert our fears into faith, our doubts into certainty, our hurt and sense of failure into something triumphant. I like it. Into something triumphant. We're here to learn, right? We're here to grow. Are we putting ourselves in that learning space? So this week, the invitation is to explore your doubts and fears, right? To notice when you're uncomfortable and ask yourself, what is my discomfort telling me? Now, it might be because I'm out of alignment with a value that's important to me, but it might also be because I'm about to learn something new. So we're called to take the next step that takes us to learning and growth. And this is the challenging part, Because maybe it means we need to apologize to somebody. Maybe it means we have to make the hard phone call. Maybe it means we need to take responsibility. Maybe it means we need to take a deep breath and take a leap of faith. So let me just summarize what we've been talking about. So the first thing is, we are so much greater than the sum total of our personality traits, how we describe ourselves, what we've accomplished, what challenges we've overcome. That does not begin to describe us. We are centers of God consciousness, growing forever in spiritual stature. We're the beloved of love. Second, we're called to grow beyond our comfort zones. We're called to live at our inner edge, and we're called to lean into, not away from, discomfort and fear, because that's our pathway to learning and growth. The third is metanoia. Metanoia. We are being invited every day to transform our consciousness, to change our thinking, to change our lives, to grow in spiritual magnificence. And the fourth is, if we make mistakes, if we do something that takes us out of alignment with our values, with what we know is true of us and God, then treat yourself with curiosity. Treat yourself with self-compassion and explore it a little bit. Why did I put myself here? Because then we can look at where we maybe need to let go of a false belief or release something that's not true of us and go back into alignment. And 5, there is no failure. There is only learning and growth. So if you're trying something new, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a hand. That's what we're being asked to do. If we're taking leaps, yay on us, good on us. We're doing exactly what we were put here to do. So I want to end this talk with a little thought from Ernest Holmes. If every day things are a little better, a little happier, a little more harmonious, a little more health-giving and joyous, if each day we are expressing more life, we are going in the right direction. That direction is up. Yeah. All right. Thank you. So let's take that into prayer, if you would, with me. So I am just putting my attention on the presence of love, the love that supports us, the love that lives us, that is us, that expresses through us. I'm putting my attention on that wonderful miracle of life, that it lives and breathes and expresses through me in every moment. And I know that because I am one, because I am a beloved creation, a beloved expression of the one presence, my life is good. I know that I am on the path of spiritual expansion, spiraling ever upward, no matter what's happening around me. And so I lean in to my inner edge. I take a chance and step out of my comfort zone. I look at what discomfort and fear has to teach me, and I move into learning and growth. Confident that I am fully supported, I am held by belay lines. I cannot hurt myself. God is right there, loving me, lifting me, supporting me. And so I take leaps of faith, knowing that I will be held, trusting that the universe is good and it's benefiting me and you in every moment. I'm so grateful to know that this is so. And I release these words now into the action of the law of good, confident that all is unfolding perfectly in my life and yours. I say thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Thank you.
here I am. Oh, that was wonderful. Made me think about something I heard once about the only way, once I walked through my fear, I realized I didn't have anything to fear. And that is something that I've had to live by and live with for my life, because fear stops me, but woe and behold, and it's happened, and magically it happens often. So it's time. We're grateful for your ongoing gifts and love offerings. You can offer your gift here in the sanctuary, make donations through unitysv.org, or by mail. We bless every single gift we give with we receive with love, in the realization that as you give, the ministry continues to thrive, and what you have given returns to you multiplied, pressed down, and running over. Let's bless our offering. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature. Let's do that a second time, okay? I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature.
Thank you for your love and more, gifts untold, and shelter from the cold. When I'm feeling sad or lonely, you let me know I'm not the only one who's ever been here. Thank you for your gifts and more. That's what I thank you for. Thank you for. Thank you for. Thank you for your gifts and more. That's what I thank you for.
Thank you. So we have a child to bless today. Good morning, Cadence. Let's bless our Cadence. Light. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. Yes. And I would like to thank Cindy. Thank you so much for coming and being with us. And Steve, thank you. It's good to see you the first Sunday of the month. Every month I look forward to it. So let's, the prayer for protection's already up, okay? Please join us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Okay, thank you for being with us. Have a wonderful week. Let's join hands as we sing the peace song. My mouth isn't working.
That is a wacky circle. I love it. Here we go. 3, 4. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that will come to be. Thank you. Thanks a lot.